just spoken out on the potential return of Francis Ngannou to face Tom Aspinall. And the MMA world is in absolute disbelief at the thought of this blockbuster matchup. Rumors are swirling that Ngannou could be lured back into the UFC for a mega fight with Aspinall. But Dana made it clear that while the fight would be monumental, there are huge obstacles in the way.
Some people wonder if Francis Ngannou might ever face Tom Aspinall. Honestly, I don't see it happening. Dana White recently addressed the idea of Ngannou possibly making a return to the UFC to take on Aspinall, and the MMA community is buzzing over the possibility. The speculation is that Ngannou could be tempted back for a massive showdown, but Dana has emphasized that while such a clash would be huge, there are significant challenges standing in the way.
Obviously, you know, this Jon Jones thing is what a lot of people are talking about. I wonder, is there anything that PFL or Francis can do to make that a realistic option for you guys, or are you fully focused on Aspinall?
Yeah, it's Aspinall's fight. I mean, we've been talking to this kid forever about it, and it's his fight. Listen, you can't make people fight. If Jon doesn't want to fight, can't make him fight. We can try to make him fight. We can throw things at him that inspire him to want to fight, but we'll figure it out.
We offered Francis a deal that would have made him the highest paid heavyweight in the history of the company. More than Lesnar, more than anybody. And he turned the deal down. I think Francis is in a place right now where he doesn't want to take a lot of risk. Feels like he's in a good position where he could fight lesser opponents and make more money. So we're gonna let him do that. We're gonna release him from his contract. We're gonna give up our right to match, and he can go wherever he wants and do whatever he wants.
Do I regret the time that I gave him? Yes. Listen, if you look at what he's accomplished in the sport, you know, no, it is what it is. I obviously feel bad for Tom that he lost all that time and obviously money, but yeah, we'll make it up to him. Tom Aspinall's a good guy. He's been incredible through this whole process that we've gone through. He's been willing to do anything, fight him anywhere at any time and do this, and now he's like, I'll fight anybody. You tell me who and I'll fight him. So Aspinall's been great. He's going to be a great heavyweight champion for us, and I'm excited to.
Still, fans can't help but fuel the conversation. A showdown between Tom Aspinall and Francis Ngannou was the ultimate fantasy matchup in the heavyweight division. Aspinall, the reigning interim champion with his speed, precision, and all-around skill set, against Ngannou, the former UFC powerhouse who left with a reputation as one of the most terrifying knockout artists the sport has ever seen. It's the kind of fight that feels like a clash of generations, a battle to decide who truly deserves the title of the most dangerous man alive.
Francis, and I really appreciate his story, but it's hard to debate right now. Like, the guy he's fighting, he's not elite, do you know what I mean? And the guys he'll be fighting in the future aren't elite, and it's as simple as that. Like, these aren't the best guys in the world. Like, the guy he's fighting fought a friend of mine and a training partner of mine, Ante Delia, last year, and Ante just destroyed him within a minute or two, took him down, ground and pounded him and stopped him within the first minute, and now this guy's fighting Francis Ngannou. So the guy isn't elite, his opponent. Yeah, he's big, yeah, he's powerful, yeah, he could knock you out, but he's not an elite heavyweight. I'm not disrespecting him, but that's just the honest opinion.
Yeah.
The elite guys are not in PFL. The elite guys are in the UFC. So, like I said, I've got a lot of respect for Francis and his story and what he's done in the sport. But it's difficult to say that he's the best heavyweight in the world when he isn't fighting elite guys right now.
I'm imposing an International Fight Week deadline. Right here and now, I'm imposing this deadline. By the way, they announced that they're going to do a press conference tour for Canelo Crawford, and one of the stops is June 27th, the day before Ilya versus Charles, International Fight Week, 317. I'm imposing an International Fight Week deadline. An announcement must be made. A decision must be made. That's when the eyes of the MMA world are on the UFC. It's their Super Bowl. Announce Tom Aspinall versus Jon Jones. Announce Tom Aspinall versus Francis Ngannou, which would be the ultimate swerve. Not going to happen, but would it be something? Or just announce Tom versus Cyril Gane. One of those. International Fight Week, it must be done. That's the deadline. I'm imposing that. I think they're going to adhere to my ultimatum. Greater chance of happening in your career before it's all said and done. Tom Aspinall versus Francis Ngannou.
Yeah.
Tom Aspinall versus Jon Jones.
Oh, I don't know. I think It's so difficult to say because if I sit here and say, Jon's done, I don't know Jon. So I don't know if he is done or not. I don't know if this is normal.
Izzy yesterday said he thinks he comes back.
Maybe Izzy knows him better than I do. I don't know Jon. I don't claim to know Jon. I know he's going through some demons right now. And I genuinely wish him the best of luck. Genuinely. I have no ill will towards him at all. I hope that everything's all right with his life.
Do you think he retired because of all this?
I don't know. I don't know why is that why they announced it early, in your opinion?
I thought so.
Yeah.
And then I asked the reporter who broke the news, and he said he was sitting there, he saw the news, it was a local reporter in New Mexico, and he said, oh, let me just take a look at the police records of the last few months, see if anything pops up, and there it was.
Oh, really?
It was in February, and somehow got...
I wasn't sure if it was like a pre-arranged question.
It seems crazy. No, I don't think so. But it's just an insane coincidence. Maybe the UFC thought it was coming and they were trying to get. I don't know. But the whole thing is very weird.
I don't know. They said that they spoke to him last night, so maybe it was just fresh on his mind, and he was just like, "I'm done with this shit. I'm just gonna say it." Who knows, man? They knew that I was coming to Vegas this week, though, so I don't see why they didn't just wait. But that ain't my job, man. I'm just here to fight people. That's all.
I think if there was anybody that he could beat, it would be Wilder. He's one of the hardest punchers ever. But as far as actual boxing ability, his level's way lower than someone like an Usyk or a Tyson Fury or somebody like that. Both the guys' punching power is absolutely like off the chart. It's absolutely ridiculous, out of this world. But I think he's quite hittable, and his fight IQ doesn't seem to be like great. I think if they...
Dana White isn't exactly optimistic about the idea. He's been open in the past about his thoughts on Ngannou leaving the UFC, signing with the PFL, and chasing big money boxing bouts against names like Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. According to Dana, Ngannou made his decision, and the promotion has moved forward. Still, when asked about the possibility of a clash with Tom Aspinall, even he admitted it would be massive, though he quickly downplayed the odds of it happening anytime soon. But if we let our imagination run with it, how would a fight between Aspinall and Ngannou actually unfold? The MMA world is already divided. Some argue Ngannou's knockout power is simply unmatched, and that one clean punch could shut down Aspinall in an instant. For many fans, it feels like the heavyweight fight to make right now.
For me, that right now is the fight to make.
I'm not sure on his circumstances. I know that he didn't have the best relationship with the UFC.
He's late 30s, you are in your prime. How you guys match up?
I like it. I like the fight. I think that he's very, very dangerous. But man, this is MMA. Well, you never know until you get in there, so I'll fight anybody.
Whoa, Tom Aspinall, good one?
Huh?
Tom Aspinall, maybe?
Who?
Tom Aspinall?
No.
Okay, fair enough. I asked Eric the same.
But Francis Ngannou, who is a literal freak of nature. I mean, this guy grew up in Cameroon and was working in the sand mines when he was a child.
Okay.
Like a fucking Conan movie.
Like full on,
like
yeah.
this
That's exactly.
warrior.
Conan's like pushing the thing around in a circle.
Wheel.
Yeah.
He's developing his body, digging the sand all day. He's
okay.
Supremely physically advanced.
He looks fit.
He's not just fit, he's the hardest puncher ever measured in all of MMA. There's a machine that we actually have outside at the gym, and if you hit this thing, Francis has hit it harder than any person who's ever lived. Yeah, well, look at him. That's what I tell people about Ngannou. You think you know what it seems like when someone hits someone really hard, and then you see Francis hit people. Some new thing going on with that guy. Natural guy who's got to cut weight to get down to 265. And when he hits you, you literally can't take it. The only guy who's been able to do it right is Steve.
UFC, they were hyping the hell out of Francis, and I go, man, you are not hyping your champ if this fight gets out of the...
On the other side, plenty of fans believe Aspinall's speed, accuracy, and grappling would dismantle Ngannou's heavy-handed style. The argument is that if the fight drags into later rounds, the advantage shifts heavily in Tom's favor.
Aspinall's one of the fastest heavyweights. His ability to move, like the way he moves, is so much different than everybody else in the sport. Look how fast he moves in. I mean, that guy's so fucking fast. He moves like a 175-pounder. He doesn't move like a 250-pound guy. Look how quickly he closes the distance, man. His hand speed and full range of skills. Incredible stand-up, knocks guys out with one punch, black belt in jiu-jitsu, really good wrestler. His everything, and he's young.
Martial arts for me, I want to find out stuff about myself. That's a big part of what it is. It's not just about going in there and knocking someone out. Yeah. Like, that's fantastic. I'll take that. Getting loads of money and driving around in a nice car, like, that's cool. But also, I want to find out what I'm all about in the later rounds as well. So that's always a backlash I get from, you know, opponents teams. I hear people speaking about it on interviews and podcasts, and the biggest disadvantage is that Tom's got is he's not had the rounds. Look, I completely agree.
Tom is probably the most prolific finisher in all of mixed martial arts. The only questions that we haven't seen about Tom is, what is he like when he gets to the later rounds? We got to assume that he's going to be good. The man can wrestle, he's got jiu-jitsu, he's got ridiculous knockout power, he's fast, he's quick, he's a hell of an athlete, he's very agile.
Here's a question with Aspinall. What happens with Aspinall in the second round? You want to talk about a guy who sprints. Yeah. You want to talk about a guy who's fast. The fastest heavyweights. He might be the fate in the history of the sport. I don't think anybody moves like that guy does. He beat everybody else's ass too. All the other heavyweights, ragdoll dudes way bigger than him. He's just a freak, and he is again the next the next advancement of the evolution of the sport.
How so?
Well, because he can do everything. That guy's got elite jiu-jitsu. He's got elite takedowns. His striking is outstanding. I mean, he knocked out Sergey, who's the scariest striker in all of MMA, and he knocked him out in the first round. And the way he did it was just picture perfect. Like, I've seen a lot of heavyweight, even Francis, who's like the greatest, scariest power striker I've ever seen in the heavyweight division. No one's scarier than Francis. Francis does not move like Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall is significantly faster than every other heavyweight. That's a real problem. At a 250 plus pound frame, his movement's extraordinary. And that's something you have to deal with. Like, that is a crazy ability. Like, his ability to move, like the way he moves, is so much different than everybody else in the sport. He moves like a 175 pounder. He doesn't move like a 250 pound guy. Look how quickly he closes the distance, man. His hand speed and full range of skills. Incredible stand-up, knocks guys out with one punch, black belt in jiu-jitsu, really good wrestler, his everything, and he's young.
So what's your prediction if it happens?
It's hard to bet against Jon. It's hard to bet against Jon, but Jon's not a real heavyweight. Yeah. Jon could make light heavyweight, 100%. He weighs 230 right now, maybe a little less than 230. There's no doubt in my mind that if Jon just changed his diet and went back, he hasn't put that much.
Adding to the debate is the fact that Ngannou has been focused on boxing. Some wonder if that experience has sharpened his striking even more, while others believe the time away from MMA could leave him rusty against a well-rounded fighter like Aspinall. Fans are already picturing every outcome. Ngannou delivering a devastating first-round knockout, or Aspinall slipping under a punch, dragging him down, and finishing with submission at the same time. The heavyweight division itself is in turmoil. While everyone is buzzing about a possible Ngannou matchup, Aspinall's next confirmed fight is against Cyril Gane in Abu Dhabi this October. Aspinall hasn't been shy about voicing his frustration, claiming Gane doesn't deserve the shot since he avoided him before, and suggesting UFC politics are behind the booking. Many fans agree, saying they'd rather see the most dangerous matchups the division can offer.
This for Tom Aspinall, other than the heavyweight title, is kind of his aura now. When the greatest of all time won't even step in a cage with you, it builds up who you are, right? You have that fear factor. The guy who everyone was scared of is scared of him. How fucking good is Tom Aspinall? Very good is the answer. And it's funny because in all of the posturing that Jon did, in the tweeting and the interviews, and I don't care, I don't want to fight him, he doesn't do anything for all of that coping that we witnessed, where he was trying to say everything he could to make himself feel better about not wanting to fight this guy, and telling us all how unbothered he was in fighting Tom Aspinall, showed exactly how bothered he was. Because Jon Jones, like, you know, even though he thinks he's smart, he's a child, right? And he doesn't realize in all of that coping, we can read him like a fucking book. And all he's done is kind of promoted Tom Aspinall for an entire year.
The silent assassin of the heavyweight division.
Okay, well then why didn't he fight him? If Jon's not scared, and we believe that, and it wasn't about money, then how do we interpret the refusal of doing it?
I think he's awesome, man. I think he's awesome. I think he should go on and have a wonderful career.
Do you think that he needs you?
No, I don't think he needs me. I think when you want something bad enough, and if you get it, it could be the worst thing that could ever happen to you.
So me and Cyril, we've been supposed to fight each other a couple of times before.
Similar age as well. You were kind of both coming through, right? Well, he's a tiny bit older than you, isn't he?
I think he's a little bit older, and he has a couple more, or at least he started his career in the UFC a little bit earlier than I did. I was trying to fight him because he was like kind of just a little bit above me all the time. Fight never materialised. He turned me down a couple of times, to be honest.
Did you have any idea what you're doing next and when you'll be back in the octagon?
I do, but I also want to keep my job. So there's not much I can say on it, to be honest. But
Will
yeah,
you fight this year?
I'm going to be fighting hopefully twice this year. That's my plan. At least I think I've wasted enough time. We're looking for a quick. We're looking to get a fight booked quick, and it's looking like it's going to be pretty soon anyway. And then hopefully, if everything goes well in the first one, I'm uninjured, which is, it's easier said than done, getting through a fight. The heavyweight division's not exactly on fire at the moment from a name point of view.
Oh, hey, bro, get out of my octagon. I got some pictures to take. Come on, BC.
I think the talent's there, but if you look 5+ years ago, just the name value in the top 15 was incredible. We're talking guys like Fabricio Verdun, Cain Velasquez, JDS, Mark Hunt, Alistair Overeem, Brock Lesnar, etc. Like the list of Stipe, the list goes on and on and on. Like you look through the top 15 and you're just like, wow, that is incredible. Whereas now even me who's a heavyweight, I look through the top 15 and I'm like, I'm not really.
Francis Ngannou's name keeps circling back into discussion. But then there's the other looming factor, Jon Jones. His presence hangs over the entire division. Dana White has even admitted he's hesitant to let Jones headline the UFC's rumored White House card, citing his track record being unpredictable. Yet fans can't stop asking the obvious question, why not book Jones against Aspinall?
So they've announced this White House UFC fight. Can we expect to see you on the card?
I can't promise anyone anything, but I have very strong feeling that I'll be on that card. It's going to be historic.
But who would you take on? Who would be your dream opponent?
I would want to take on whoever's holding the belt at the end of the year.
Any possible names you think?
Well, I mean, as of right now, the champion is Tom Aspinall, but we'll see who's the champion at the end of the year. It'd be only fitting to have an American guy fight for the championship that night. I'd be willing to put it all on the line.
Nice.
And that's a good thing because we're going to put on the best card we've ever done for that White House event. You know what I mean? It's going to be it's a one-of-one experience. Like when we did the Sphere, it's the Sphere on steroids. I mean, it's going to be a one-of-one event. There'll be nothing like it ever again.
There's one guy who could mimic a Jon Jones on the feet. It's Rieker Verhoeven.
He's going to wipe the floor. He's going to wipe the floor with Jon Jones.
You believe
Jon Jones 100%. Doesn't have a chance versus Tom Aspinall. Mark my words. Tom Aspinall is a freaking monster.
I love it.
On his feet and on the ground. So, and I truly believe that Jon Jones has never faced somebody that is that good on his feet. On the ground, he's faced some guys that are pretty good. But on his feet, I think Tom is, he would even do good in the kickboxing ring. He would be a top competitor to fight me as well.
The fact that the illustrious career of Jon Jones, the supposed greatest of all time, ends at a post-fight press conference in Baku, Azerbaijan, is a joke. Is an absolute joke. I'm sorry, but this is an absolute joke. Tom Aspinall is going to Las Vegas. At the very least, present him the title. At the very least, do something to make it up for this guy who has been sitting there watching his career just waste away for the past 7 months. Oh, by the way, his last fight was almost a year ago, 11 months. Do something. This is the way it happens. This is the way it happens. Something that could have happened at the post-fight press conference in New York. Jon Jones never wanted to take this fight. And anyone who tells you otherwise is not telling you the truth. As I've said time and again, Jon Jones asked for a lot of money. He asked for the number that everyone was talking about. He's asked for a lot of money, and as I said time and again, he deserved that money. He earned that money. After much negotiation, the UFC got him that money. Did they ask for help? That remains to be seen, but they got him the number. And Jon Jones said he was in. And then a couple of days later, he said he was out. And ever since then, the UFC has been trying to convince him to come back, to take the fight, one last fight. And he said no. Dana White guaranteed this fight would happen. He guaranteed it would happen as recently as a couple of weeks ago. It was already not a thing. The way in which this has been handled has not been great. And the fact that Tom Aspinall, at the very least, couldn't get some sort of, oh, here's the belt, here's the ceremony, here's your fight, here's your date, is shameful.
Why not Jon Jones versus Ngannou? These are the kinds of dream matchups fans have been demanding, yet roadblocks like politics, injuries, and ego keep getting in the way. Many in the community believe Jones has been steering clear of Tom Aspinall. The narrative goes that he handpicked Cyril Gane, grabbed the belt, and then sat on the sidelines instead of facing the division's most dangerous threat. Aspinall himself has even said he's lost interest in fighting Jones, calling it a waste of time, only fueling perception that the fight may never happen. And here's where we stand. Dana White playing down the idea of Ngannou returning, Aspinall calling out UFC politics, Gane stepping in as a placeholder challenger, and Jones lingering as an unanswered question. The heavyweight division has never been more thrilling, yet at the same time, it's more fractured than ever. Fans are left to wonder, what if Ngannou did make a comeback? What if Aspinall and Ngannou actually share the octagon? Would Aspinall's speed and technique prove too much? Or would Ngannou remind the world why his power is still considered the most dangerous weapon in MMA? No matter what Dana White says today, the cloud will hang over the division until that fight happens, or until Jon Jones finally faces a true test. The heavyweight title picture will always feel like it has unfinished business at the very top.